Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Field Glory's Empire, continuing our Rome game from last time. Loading it up. This time I have well, unless you watch it the couple second long VOD from a moment ago. Even if you did, you wouldn't see my eye on this. That was a me on the Rome, but I had a little bit of a Windows glitch, so we're starting a little bit later today. We're laying siege to that location. And we're going to want to have to take over this location. And that's basically what we're working on, is we're going to finish these guys off. We're going to try to Diploanix Massalina over here, and we'll probably try to work down to our objective. And we'll get more objectives as we go. In the game right now, I believe we are the winner. So if we were to maintain our current position until the end of time, effectively in the game, we would win because we have the highest legacy score. We'll get an early victory if our legacy score at any point triples anyone else. Otherwise, I think everything is going well. I believe I ended at the end of a turn. Yeah, it does look like I've done all the moves. Might have some construction going on, like real lines being built there, that sort of stuff. Division ready, look horses across the defenders. We got a bolster colony, which I don't think we're able to actually play. No, we got a place to place bolster colony. We'll place it then. Okay, and let's go ahead and progress the turn. So we're moving more armies up into position. I think the last province in the Veneti, we're going to be in a weird situation where we're going to have to sort of take it by storm, which is not ideal. It's a forested area, and so we'll immediately have a fight, but it's not necessarily a fight we're going to win. At the end of the last one, we also got the decision, and we're kind of saving up for it, to begin the transition over to Roman legions from earlier Roman legions. Okay, siege is over. Displace slaves. Well, each region with at least one health building has a 5% chance to get a new one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that one. If it does, it's a slight penalty. Okay, and then we'll order everyone to basically just pile on in, and hopefully we win. This is not necessarily going to be a fight that goes our way, I think. Province, where do we want to put the province capital? So we got you with 6, you with 8, you with 7, probably there. Probably on their old capital, to be fair. So we now have enough for the decision. Yeah, upgrade the school's not a bad idea, let's do that. Look and see where we can send the guy to do some road expansion. Already got limes. Could go up there and, yeah, let's build a Rome camp and then upgrade it to limes. Construction otherwise going well. It looks fine. Got one province that was raided. Otherwise fine. For this one, let's actually try to raise... No, we can't raise enough. If we can't raise enough, then we're just going to accept that it's bad one. Worst case scenario, it'll be legal. It's rebelling in the area. Not a bad choice for infrastructure buildings. We'll grab the Wheelmaker. I'll give us the third one. I'll also upgrade the public works to regional roads. Same thing here, basically, with the brickworks. large quarry or training ground? Actually doesn't actually look like the upgrade to large quarry is even an upgrade here. It's a better building that would get more benefits, but if we had the other building, another benefit, so yeah, we'll go for the moment. 5, we got 2 building slots. Let's upgrade the barracks. Yeah, let's upgrade the barracks. We don't need the public loyalty benefit, so we'll hold off on there. This is going to probably be the farm of the province for the moment, so a well would not be a bad idea. And then this one. Apparently we've already got irrigation and canals somewhere, so that's probably the food one. We can do regular wells. Can actually do wells again. It wouldn't be a bad wells. Not what we're really rushing to grab, I think. Yeah, let's grab the walls. Let's fortify the place a little bit more. Conversion bonus. Territory plot foreign culture pops is not bad. Copper mine. And okay, now we need to go to Saddle region, and the answer is we don't have any. Okay, so we should be good to cycle the turn. Get a build harbor off. Lay down here. Don't think build harbor, the decision there doesn't have to respect the build limits. Marin reforms. We're going to do progressively reform rather than take the reform immediate one. This one's only going to give... Well, actually, if we save it up for this, we'd get a... let me just convert immediately. Obtain 75% experience, which is fine. I mean, each provincial capital and legion camp. This one we'll have to go around and build all the legion camps, which I think is fine for what we want to do. And we can afford it this turn, so we can at least pick it up. And we'll see how this battle goes. $33 units versus 20. Range phase about equal, so kind of relying on the dice on this one. Battle ended and draw, 1 each. 19 versus 32. Rain phase. Our quality guys are... There's enough of them that can actually rotate out. We've effectively got 2 armies here. Theirs can't, so we're in a situation where we are going to slowly start to exhaust their guys anyway, as long as we don't actually have a route, which we just suffered. Okay. Still have a second army coming in. Oh, actually, third army. Might be able to turn this around. No. So that was bad. So they held. We basically bumped off of them, which is not great. Because most of their guys are garrisoned, so most of their guys just respawn with full stuff, which is not what we want. I propose and sell peace. We'll see what they want. The answer is not what we're willing to accept. So counter proposal. I need Heronius because I want the our objective there, and then Finis Terre is our objective. Canterbury. They've got another blue one that we're... Oh, they have the one down there. Okay. So they're not going to be willing to accept. Like, not at all. That's kind of what we'd want. They're definitely not going to accept that. Heronius. So this one, they got a 0% chance to accept, but we can propose this one, and we will propose this one. Back at them. building development focus regions reshuffle some of the building proposals. We don't really need to do anything with that. Don't need to change the recruiting policy. So now we're going to start getting access to Marine legions, which are 6-5. Take a penalty in forests, swamp, and mountains. Versus, well, the early Republican legions were suffering that same penalty as well. A little bit more combat power, supposedly. I can quick glance at them. I'm not necessarily seeing the big difference. Apparently there is a difference between them. Don't know offhand. Oh, well, I suppose one advantage the Roman legions have is they can be trained everywhere. Build the buildings. Okay, we're gonna give these guys an opportunity to recover. And to make sure we got as much food to recover for them with, we're gonna try to swap everyone over to food temporarily in the province. Well, most everyone over. Don't want any of the buildings to decay while we're doing this. And we can build Legion camps, which unlocks the ability to recruit those guys anywhere. Not going to bother to build it out here in vaguely contested territory right now. Give those guys one turn at least to recover before I send them back in again. Oh, we can also play Forge the Land on them. Increase the likelihood that they successfully recover. We only have 8 surplus infrastructure here. I need the money, I think, otherwise I would swap more guys out for money. This is a place where we probably want some more loyalty, so I might take the Decadence of the Gambling Ring. Oh, Trade Center is real tempting. Yeah, we'll take the Decadence of the Gambling Ring. Not ideal, but loyalty is loyalty. That construction's going fine. That one's fine. The person we can put on construction, speed of construction a little bit maybe. New building, well, finished a building slot. Got another building to go in it. Yeah, monument. Needs some culture. Okay. Oh, we got some early Republican infantry here. I think we're just going to march out to the front. I would prefer if you go over land, please. No, sailing straight to the Allies is not a bad idea either. Okay, we have 2 open building slots here, so let's feel free, build a Roman camp, and then upgrade it to alliance just to increase the fortifications. Oh, this region has negative food. I don't want that. There we go. This region might actually need more food, which is, well, surprising because I've been building a lot. Usually I try to keep those regions food positive without having people work food. Yeah, we can now field Marian Legions. Doesn't remove the ally. Just replaces the early Revolving Legion with the Marian Legion. Just a 6-5? I think it's basically the same as the other one. At least it looked like it was up at the front. Whether it is or not is maybe a different question. Might be, it is basically recruit everywhere, so either way, it's still worth having access to. Because then we don't have to march everything over from Rome if we build a few places. If we build them in a few places. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Next turn, after our guys have had one round to rest, they'll go attempt to do what they just did. We don't necessarily want to completely destroy the Veneti, so if they accept the peace deal, they're probably not going to accept the peace deal, but if they accept the peace deal, then we'll move on to greener pastures. No successful forage. Probably some recovery regardless. And yeah, the army here that they have here is pretty much not something to be worried about. It's just the annoyance. That's a wooded, forested area, and our guys are not particularly great at fighting in forests. Decently profitable tavern. Coin maker, which can later upgrade into a mint for even more money. Stables. Actually, stables is probably the most tempting down here. Because... No, this isn't where we're recruiting our cavalry, or is it? Sure, we want to recruit our light cavalry for the moment. Okay. So stables is tempting. I think it's still going to pass up on the stables. We're not going to pass up on legion camps when we can offer them. Even though they do cause a little bit of decadence, so I have to be a little bit careful of that. This one in particular needs some loyalty, so the noble quarter is not a bad choice for that. Building stuff, building stuff. You've got an open space to build. Cult site to convert faster. And yeah, we're going to commit those guys. And we're going to see how bad of an idea that is. Might not be a bad idea. Probably a bad idea. Okay. You're going to build some limes. So it's technically you can also then move into next spot after building those limes. Or start moving. Okay, move over there. We'll upgrade those limes as well. think that's our decisions. Well, the regional. A couple in here that we could do if we're looking for specific things. Like if we had Emporiums, we can make them more likely to pop up, that sort of thing. But no, I think we're good. Okay, let's cycle the turn. See how the invasion of that province goes. $60 versus 21. So if we're going to win, this is going to be something like this fight that's going to do it. 6 versus 6, so it is still RNG to determine whether or not we win. Same number of dice. So yeah, we've gone ahead and lost the battle again. Basically just bounced because we don't have good anti-force troops. Got the Barian guys coming in there, which that's a little bit of a problem. Our 3 guys are not going to hold up there. Okay. Warriors proposing a trade deal. Depending on what they want, we'll give it to them. They want some Javeliers. I'm willing to accept that. There's no problem with that choice. What's our best general? 1-2 is not too bad. And we're marching out that type, okay. Let's move you to merge with that army, and we'll do another split off here. Starting to reorganize the army is kind of what I'm thinking about. Because obviously we need to get guys to come on down here to Kanabar. We do have an objective down here, so we would like to go that direction if we can as well. One of these regions we're getting Orcan recruiters, okay. Range attack 5. Okay, so there's decent skirmishers. The provincial here is the provincial here. Gallic cavalry. So we have Gallic cavalry, Cisalpine, Celtic cavalry, and Cisalpine cavalry. Good at flanking, otherwise not kind of what we're looking for. Okay. I do have enough money saved up for the moment. I think we can tune down the money generation to go back to building faster and harder. Maybe there's tempting, but we're gonna go Legion Camp. House Library is a national wonder. We're already building it someplace, I believe. Yeah. Don't remember exactly how the game handles you building a national wonder if you've already built it someplace or building it someplace else. But I have a feeling that if we were to try to building this, it wouldn't build. Because the other one would finish before this one does, and then we'd get the task council on us, which is not what we want. We need loyalty. Actually, no, this is loyalty penalty. Definitely no loyalty penalty one. I think we'll actually just go for a reroll here quickly, because we're apparently having loyalty issues. From just the raw number of people. Wouldn't be a bad idea to put some food here. Granary's not a bad food building, though. Marble. Can already be impaired by Tiberius. Okay, which... it's fine. Oh, or we presented with a national wonder. Royal Court. Needs papyrus, can import that. It's expensive, but it generates decadence, or decadence reduction, legacy increase. We basically remove all the decadence we have here. Faction Wild loyalty bonus 5. Sure. For us, basically expensive to build, but we can accept that. That's on board. Don't want to cut any, yeah. Random frog in the throat. Don't want to cut any more money production, so I think that's where we're gonna leave, turning people from money to production. Need culture, could do theater. Copperworks wouldn't be that bad. Could do wall, double stack the walls. Or I think we'll go with the health building, smokehouse. Tempting to go with the theater for a third culture building so we get access to tier 2. Wheelmaker. Wheelmaker, and if we get the Legion to come over, we can have the Legionnaires road it. Oh, you can... some regional roads as you move there. Yeah, let's go Wheelmaker. Okay. And then 5, which is this little one, nothing to do here. 6, got a lot of building slots. Weaver's not bad. Yeah, let's go Weaver. Weaver. Farmer Grade is not bad. And... well, yeah, we'll splurge. We'll get a Legion camp out here. Out here. It'll help us build the Legions closer to the front. Transfer to the land again. Let's cycle the turn. So the forest situation is definitely one where I'd like a better offensive general. We're basically going headlong into a defensive general. With a okay attacking general, so they're sort of neutralizing each other, and it's not great territory for us to fight in. Aren't arduous negotiations. We secure a trade deal. Cool. Keldabaria is proposing peace. Okay, Keldabaria, I suppose we'll view it and say no, because we definitely don't want whatever they're offering. No. Continue displacing slaves, so they're not all sitting on top of the slave depots. I think the wrong one moved. Yeah, okay. I see what happened. I see what happened. Okay, we'll just move the ones out that we don't want. So, we want the 4 Barbarian ones, because we want that to be the mobile field army. We'll take 2 of the LA along with us, so we want you to come out, you to come out. We only need 2 of the Cisalpine Cavalry. We'll keep the best 2 of the Light Cavalry. And then I probably want a back line of skirmishers about as thick as the front lines. We want about 6 Javelins. It doesn't really matter which, because they're all about the same. So we'll leave them the 6 best ones. And we'll detach the rest. Give them 1-1 and send them after the rebels. Oh, I didn't. Okay, we got too many here, but too many here is fine. 22 is not that bad. Extra skirmishes is gonna hurt. So we'll send them on their counterattack. Let's go ahead and march over there, try to get rid of those rebels as well with those guys. These guys have arrived. Build limes. You've arrived. Build limes. And then go there to build regional roads. Construction's going pretty well here. We got most of the stuff will finish next turn. Could build another Legion camp. He'll build a racing track. Racing track. In this situation, the biggest drawback to the racing track here is the large amount of decadence. So we'd have to be countering that with buildings, presumably, or people working in culture, one of the ways. But 40 loyalty is a bunch of loyalty. There's no doubt about that. So we'll do racing track for the loyalty. So it's probably not worth it. We'll probably go amphitheater for the culture. Leave our choices open. We're still working the Royal Court. At some point I'll have to do an internal look over how many slave markets we have. We want somewhere between 4 to 10. 10 is, I think, the maximum on the shipping them around and dispersing them decision. And 4 is the max buy-sell. That wouldn't be too bad for a well. Yeah. Or we can go furnace can access the tier to commerce, but no, we'll do that well. That's not a bad well. Tempted to do slave market, just to have more slave markets, but I think we're getting pretty close to the property number. Let's do brickwork, because then we can upgrade the public works. Oh, we have a silver mine here. That's interesting. Tier 2 building. Shouldn't have access to those yet, but we got one there anyway. Preceptor house. If we got the papyrus, and we don't have the papyrus here, but we definitely want to be ready to receive the food when we get it, which is the upgrade to the irrigation system here, so. Oh, we might need one more farm building in there. But yeah, it's the upgrade to the irrigation system. Okay, campaign's going well. I think we dealt with the decisions mostly as they came up. Oh, and you do have an army. We'll give you the 1-2. You know the attack into the forest. Probably better done with the 2-2. We'll have the reorg, we'll see. One cycle the turn. This will probably be the last turn cycle for this recording portion. So if you're watching YouTube, there probably will be a part up tomorrow. We're going to see how the turn plays out. 22 versus 2 should just work, so let's skip. And it does. And 150 combat power versus 10. I think I know who's winning. And the answer is hopefully us. Rage attacks go out. Full enemy front line exhausted. Goodbye, enemy resistance. Oh, I can see Emphorica as one of our objectives as well. That's the other reason, maybe to save up a bunch of money, is to try to buy these people out. Merge them in via honey instead of swords. Reaches the proposal of peace. We will respond. Probably not the way they want. Counter proposal. I don't want to reject your thing. I want Erroneous. And I want Polinius Tenaire. Impossible. They're not even willing to consider it. Okay, well then I'm not willing to consider this trade deal. Or this peace deal. Yeah. No, this is just getting rejected. Reject. Okay, merge these armies together. We have taken a lot of combat losses trying to go into the forest. Actually, going to the forest is probably the specialty of the LA here. Because they don't take a penalty, so they're basically the same in the forest as the legions are. Split those guys off, grab the 2-0. Still have access to them? We do. Forces, frontage of 6. Yeah, frontage of 6. So the 12 stack that we're breaking off is probably the best way to deal with those guys. And yeah, we're showing signs that we are... It makes sense to me, but it's showing signs that we are low on... legionnaires. Split off more, because this is still way bigger army than it needs to be, do what it needs to do most of the time. I believe those are stacks of 8. We want you to march down there. So we've taking that out of 6. We're going to split this stack in half. One of those is going to go join up with that army. Actually, I probably want it to be the Legionnaire, not the Early Legion. Not the Early Republic Legion. Even though I'm not sure... I'm not sure what the difference is between them, honestly. Tavern. Candle Shop would only make sense if we had access to wax. City Guard is going to provide a loyalty bonus. We don't need the loyalty bonus, though, in this situation. Yeah, we'll just do the tavern. Okay, and then the other one of you wants to, say, march over there. I think we're short the road over there. So, troops are all moving, spreading out, doing smart things, hopefully. Open building slot here. We could build the secret cult, which would only hang around until it hit to 20. So this is not a good choice. We're gonna stop there. Not a good choice. Not gonna bother. Trading post isn't that bad. I think we've actually grabbed all the good food buildings already for this province. 3, 6, 7. This is a good one hiding out there. Well, the Great Mills is a good one. The mill would be worth it. Great Mills would be worth it. Oil mill, flax field, stud, hemp farm. We don't have wells. I don't have wells. So this is a province that was planned to have wells. It doesn't have wells yet. So we're actually just going to do the reroll here because we want the well. We want the well. Up here, roll cart will be done next turn. Grab the Noble Gardens for a lot of culture. Sculpture shop. We can already import sculptures from farther down, so it's a little bit less valuable. Probably go to the Noble Gardens. I was going to do culture source. Weapons manufacturer. Really strong source of weapons. 2 buildings to produce more. Quarry, salt house. Actually, probably do the salt house. Yeah, we'll do the salt house. The logic with the salt house is we need someone to make food. If we can get the provinces that just naturally make the food, then we can use people to do what we want instead of having to provide food. Don't need the culture here. Could do bronze works for money. Probably do the Legion camp so we can get more Marian legions faster. Plus, 10% more manpower recruitment. Bunch of slots here. That's not a good source for dyes. Or a good source for money making. On the other hand, it's going to provide other stuff bonuses, so it's not bad. Purple's not easy to find, so we're just at some point we're just going to have to accept that we're going to not. If we want dyes, we're going to have to eat the cost on the purple anyway. Courthouse upgrade. Orchards are nice when they're available. Don't need the loyalty yet. Could do the brickworks. Brickworks guarantee that we have access to all the infrastructure buildings and we're just re-rolling as we want. Yeah, okay. We'll grab the brickworks. And I don't need the province to be growing as fast as it is. So we'll go around and move guys off of food on to production. Just realized I could have done that a couple turns ago. That's one of the reasons why it's got so much ability to build stuff is, well, because it's grown. Because we had it set to grow instead of build. 15. Okay, so this is similar to the capital region where we probably do want to get a food building somewhere. So we don't have to have the last guy sitting on food. I tend to like the food to be a choice, not a necessity. I can wrangle it that way. Three open slots, but we can only build 2 of them right now. Preceptor House. This one actually has access to the Bavaria, so this is just a no-brainer. We're going to do it. And then this one... we don't need the loyalty now. We'll need the loyalty eventually, but it's only a 4 loyalty bonus. Guard Tower. This is a pretty frontal area, so actually grabbing the guard tower is not a bad idea. So we'll do that. Six doesn't need anyone. 7 has a building project that actually needs to be built. Training ground wouldn't be that bad here. Okay, so we've got a bunch of troops ready to go running around. We have no provinces, nothing being done. Are the siege. We've got you there, so we want you to build regional roads, and then you can move on. To there. That's where I want you to go next. Okay, and then diplomacy-wise, for Massila here. Oops. No. I'm gonna do the transaction. So I want you to be absorbed. We're gonna give you basically most of our metal, most of our manpower, and oh, that's a lot of bargaining points required. Okay, so we're not quite there. In fact, that's something at some point we're just going to churn while in peace. Let's get enough to do that sort of trade. Same point with you. Got the relations with you. Want you to become my client state. We can give you some metal. Give you some manpower. A little bit less of metal then. Maybe a little bit less manpower. Nope, the manpower 1,000 is going to be fine. That'll become our subject. Actually thinking about it there, and then go. Oh, I want you to go there, and then. No, yeah, okay, that'll work. Suppose if I'm telling it to chase the army, it has to chase the army. It can't do things before. Okay. Okay, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and put the part back in. So if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you've been enjoying. I'll let the part go because I probably should have actually put the part in the beginning of the turn, but I'm putting it at the end of the turn. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow where we continue with what we're doing. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. There'll be a short break, and then we'll pick up from where we left off. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. And bye for now.